And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quivs here, Quivs does stuff. Today we're playing another new one called The Planet Crafter by Miju Games, which is apparently a two-man development team, so pretty indie there. I did spend a bit of time playing it last night. It's pretty good. I'm not going to say it's the most amazing thing I've ever played, but it's alright. Who's this one for? Well, if you kind of like the survival crafting genre, but you're not a huge fan of like the reflex-based, combat-based survival crafting, this one's got no real dangers in it. The only thing that'll kill you is the actual survival part. So if you don't get your food, you don't get your water, and like most of the alien planet ones, if you don't get your oxygen. So if that's sort of your thing, this one might be for you. Let's get into a new game so we can sort of see what it looks like from the start. Survival 3, okay, fine. I haven't played around with any of this stuff. I'm not going to play around with any of it for this Let's Play either. We're just going to create a new one. So you create it, it's there, it's ready to go, and then we dive on in. I just want to check all my settings and things and make sure everything's working. The one thing I'm not sure about is if there's any audio output capture happening here, because the game is super quiet. Is it happening? Is it not happening? Should be happening. It's set to the correct sources and everything. I'll turn the sound up a little bit. It doesn't have to be too loud, because there are some loud bits and I don't want it to be louder than me. Because of that vein, no, because otherwise, what's the point of me talking if you can't hear me? All right, so no intro or anything yet. This is very early access. I will say it is bug-free. I played for hours last night and I encountered no bugs. It looks quite good. It gets better, don't worry, it starts to look better. It's not procedurally generated. There is this map. I don't think I need any of those things just yet. Right, let's start looking at things that we need. So you point at resources. There are always these sort of like node-like things. Press the left mouse button and you only have to click once and it'll auto-harvest the whole node. And you get some stuff. Let's not fill up because we don't have a lot of inventory space. So first steps, it's got some stuff there in the top left. There's no tutorial or anything yet at the moment, but if you press escape, those are all your controls there. You don't need anything except these controls. That's it, basically. Let's see now, backpack, 2 iron, I've got that. So you craft that, you hit tab, you go into your inventory, you left click and it goes into your gear slots. And now I've got an expanded inventory. I need an oxygen tank. Well, I need 1 more iron and magnesium, so let's go find an iron and a magnesium. Don't see any magnesium close by. Oh, there's one. So I've sort of gotten used to which ones look like what already. There's not that many resources in the world, but there are a fair few. You get to more difficult to find resources relatively quickly. It doesn't take very long before that's a thing. Yeah, pretty standard survival crafting fare, I would say. Right. So now I have an increased oxygen supply, so I can walk around outside for longer. So basically stepping into this room provides you with oxygen. Yes. So this is your assigned mission. The reason why your mission is assigned, my understanding is that you were a prisoner. You were a criminal. You did something that warranted, I believe, a death sentence. Whatever your opinion on the death sentence is. You did something that warranted a death sentence, and instead you were offered this bargain. You can go on your own, all alone, to an alien planet that's uninhabitable and make it habitable. As opposed to dying. So you might die trying to make the place habitable. You might, never manage it, spend the rest of your life toiling and get nowhere, etc., etc., but it might be better than what you were facing. So that's the very simple, very quick principle. I mean, it's very fast. That gets right to the point. This is what it's about. So I need 2 silicon and 2 magnesium. Silicon doesn't look that much different from everything else, but it's kind of a smaller nodule. Don't actually see any others, but there's a magnesium up here, so we'll grab that. So you can't get too far from base because you've got to get back to get your oxygen. You can make oxygen canisters. Yes, they will do the trick and they'll let you go further. Getting basically the bigger oxygen supply in the first place, excuse me, is where it's really at. Really, you just want to get to the larger oxygen supply to begin with. Around level 3, you get several minutes outside, and that's, sort of where you can really start exploring the planet. And there is stuff to explore. This is not just wastelands. And it will take some time, but okay, it's kind of a spoiler, but the actual planet changes. So you spend your time, you craft things to make the planet more habitable, and the planet literally becomes visually more appealing. So the very first thing that'll happen is you'll turn the sky blue, and then there'll be clouds in the sky, and then there'll be grass everywhere, and then there'll be trees everywhere, and then there'll be lakes forming and all sorts of stuff, and it starts to look really nice. It's quite an interesting take on the whole genre, in that the thing that you are trying to craft is the planet itself. I mean, it's not that you are trying to craft the planet itself, like you're trying to build your base, but the only thing to do to advance the bits of base that you have available is to improve the planet, which is what they sent you to do. So you might as well do that, and so because you're doing that, the planet starts looking better. What was that again? Silicon, magnesium. So I wasn't looking. Yep, 1 silicon, 1 magnesium. That's relatively easy. Let's look behind. So we haven't gone back here yet. So I'm likely to find that's probably silicon and that is magnesium. Yar. Cool, so now we've got the base constructor and deconstructor. The deconstructor, if you make a mistake, you can deconstruct the building. You get full resources back, but it's also useful for exploring the wrecks of crashed ships. Now you might have seen that one up on the hill while I've been looking around a few times. There are several scattered around the place, and there are other things to explore other than them. There are like different almost biomes, but scattered around the place are these crashed ships, and to get through them you need to be able to clear the wreckage. Now, to use your constructor and deconstructor, if you look at the tool that my character is holding, if I use the scroll wheel, it scrolls through different modes: construction mode and deconstruction mode. When in those modes, your left click will do the thing. Now, when in construction mode, you hit Q and that brings up the construction menu. I think that's every button in the game. Yeah, tab for inventory, shift for sprint, Q for build, left click, scroll wheel, not middle click, it looks like middle click, but, and F to toggle your light once you've built a light. I haven't actually done that yet. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to begin by building a foundation grid, because I want to lift my habitable area slightly off the ground, because the first time I played this I didn't do that, and that cost me. I think I've landed in a slightly different spot. The ground here seems different. I think last time I landed over there, like back here. But we're going to build here because this is a nice oxygen level low. Alright, let's go get some oxygen before we die first. And then we can go and start working on where we're going to place this base. Let's place this base. Now, there doesn't appear to be any structural integrity or anything in the game yet. I will remind you, this is extremely early access, so a lot of these things will probably get fixed in the future, but for now, you basically need... I want one of the... Oh god, I don't even know where my pod is anymore. Where is my pod? There. I want one of these to sort of lift it off the ground. Enough. There. That's where I want it. And then after it's been lifted off the ground... okay, I need some water and some food now. So the heart is your food, and the water is water, or the droplet is water. Right. So we've got a foundation. On that foundation, I'd like to put my first living compartment. So I need 2 iron, so now I need to run around and look for iron. A slightly harder to find resource than most things early on. Titanium will very shortly become harder to find than iron. And then the major one that seems to be the one that slows you down in the early game is going to be aluminium. It's really hard to find aluminium. But at the very, very, very first bit, it's really hard to find iron. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I just woke up. And then after you have started getting somewhere, iron becomes the easiest thing to find. Now this doesn't seem to actually do anything. Okay, well, there. That's kind of right. Okay. First thing, I've got no way of getting in there. You've got to craft a door. Oh, there's an iron, like right in front of the pod. I didn't notice that one before. We'll grab that, because I bet you the door needs iron. Iron, titanium, and silicon. Titanium. I think I'm probably going to have problems finding silicon. No, there's one. Now, the resources don't run out. They don't respawn. They do respawn in some other spots. Some other spots they just respawn while you're not there. But in this area, you can sort of use up everything that's local, but periodically, meteorites will rain from the sky and will drop new resources in this area. I have not been hit by one of those meteorites yet, so I don't know whether they do damage to the player. But I've built a pretty big base, and they don't appear to do any damage to the base. So it seems to be purely... there we are. So now you can get air in here. First room includes air. Right. So now let's build some of the things that we need inside there. Believe it or not, one of the first things I'm going to build is I'm going to build this desk. Why the desk? So one of the things you have to build is a screen, and there's nowhere to really attach the screen to, but if you build a desk, you can stick it on the desk. So because I like things neat and tidy, I'm going to build the desk. Actually, is there something smaller than the desk I can build? I wonder if that's smaller than the desk. No, the desk will definitely take up the least amount of space, because you can stick it right up against the wall. Right, so this first room, I generally give over to just storage, my first storage area, and screens, which you're going to need. The blueprint screen, so iron and silicon. It does get darker, but it never gets so dark that you can't see. It just makes it kind of harder to find the resource that you're actually after. Iron and iron. Let's grab it. I've got some inventory space. I'm going to need more of these things anyway. More iron. Yeah, so now iron's becoming like, oh, there's lots of iron. There's hardly any silicon. Now the low power that it's referring to is actual base power. So it doesn't matter where on the planet you place your power supply and things. Everything is considered connected. You don't have to actually add connections. Is that the wind, or is that the... Here they come. I could try and stand in one of their paths and find out. Let's find out. I'm not going to make it. Came close though. I'm not gonna get there. And my oxygen level is low. I'm gonna die before I get home. Oh no. Oh no. Run, Forrest. So yeah, that's one of the main ways that you'll die, is running out of oxygen. It is the only way I've died. I haven't starved or anything. Anyway, yeah, so these things noisily come down to the planet and slam into the ground and explode, showering fresh resources around the place. Right, so this screen, yeah, it has to go on a table. So, because I know I'm going to need a table, I build a table and put the screen. It doesn't make it hard to place things because the ground is shaking and everything at the moment. Now, I don't think it'll display anything because I've got no... Oh no, it still works. Okay. The other one they want me to craft is the big one, and I need cobalt and silicon for that. Well, there's cobalt, and silicon. Do I see any silicon? Maybe up where this one just landed. Yeah, there's silicon. No, that's iron. Grab it while we're walking past. Silicon. Alright, so we'll get to the power thing in a second. So there's different kinds of power producers as well. I mean, there's not many, but there are more than one. I'll grab that because I'm going to eventually need some food and water. Might as well have it on me. Actually, it'd be better not to have it on me because then it's not taking up storage. But I might build a storage thing here and then fill it up with those things so I don't ever have to go back to that thing anymore. Right. Rotate that. It fits on the wall, and I'm going to stick it right in the corner. Beautiful. So when that's got power, it'll continuously show you your progress towards terraforming the planet. So let's begin adding some power to this. And that is a wind turbine, and I already have enough. You don't have to be nice about it, just place it. Starts working. My base is now powered up. You can see the lights are on, the screen's lit up, and this is how far I've got towards terraforming the planet. 0. Yeah, so the idea is you've got to produce oxygen. You basically grow plants to produce oxygen. You produce heat by creating heaters, literally just building heaters. And pressure by mining into the soil to, I guess, release gases, which then expand and create atmospheric pressure. Now, the one thing that I don't like is oxygen, because, okay, plants do produce oxygen, and they do kind of produce it in a bit of an excess, but actually once the light goes out, so plants need oxygen to survive, just like we do. Plants can't survive without oxygen. They produce oxygen from carbon dioxide, but they only do that during the day. As soon as it goes dark, plants just use oxygen, which is why you should never actually sleep in a bedroom with too many potted plants. Because if you do, your potted plants could actually suffocate you overnight, because they can use up all the oxygen in the room and leave you with just carbon dioxide, which will make you sleepy, which if you're already asleep means you just never wake up. That was kind of dark, but it's true. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. It's especially bad if you do things like fall asleep in front of a lit fire, like a fireplace, and you've got potted plants in the room. Yeah, you can exhaust the oxygen in a room and suffocate yourself. Right, let's build one storage so we've got somewhere to store stuff. Now, some things snap and some things don't. If it sort of snaps, you could probably guess it's supposed to go indoors. If it doesn't snap, it's probably supposed to go outdoors. Right, we'll get the last few things from this storage container. And then we never need to go back there again. I kind of wish you could deconstruct it after that for maybe some materials, but you can't. Or can you? Maybe I just never tried. Oh, you can deconstruct the storage crate inside, which is worth iron, and that's it. All right. So now let's craft our first drill, because I think that's normally the first one that I think you should be doing. So again, relatively cheap. You can site them anywhere. I'm going to try and keep things, you know, look like I had a bit of a plan, but I'm not going to go crazy about it because I know it doesn't matter. And now you will see at 0.2 nanopascals per second, I believe, we are slowly building up pressure on the planet. 2 nanopascals worth of pressure so far. 3 nanopascals worth of pressure so far. And yeah, so if you look at the unlock screen, pressure at 70 nanopascals will unlock the oxygen tank level 2. At 300 terraformation items, a terraformation something, at 300 Ti will unlock the backpack tier 2. So that's how the game works, is basically you produce the resources to help terraform the planet, and by doing so you unlock the next level of things that you can build, and one leads to the other. You unlock the next level of things you can build, and then you build the cool stuff that you can now build so you can terraform faster so that you can unlock the next level of things you can build. Pretty standard game loop for this kind of game. It is fun. I don't know. I found it entertaining enough that I put several hours into it last night. So now let's build a heater. Iridium. Now iridium's hard to come by. I haven't found it just lying around the environment yet. In fact, the first iridium I found was in that spaceship. So we might head over there in a bit. So let's not build iridium, let's do the veggie tube, because we can do one of them. So iron, ice, and magnesium. Ice is this one. You're going to need ice for water as well. Oxygen tanks are made out of 2 cobalt. Food, it's a lot longer. What was it? Iron? Iron. Food you actually have to get, you basically have to find in the environment for the early parts of the game. It takes a long time. Now that was an aluminium node. I picked that up because aluminium is rare. And just spotting one laying out on the ground, you want to grab that because it's rare. It's really rare. Oh dear, am I going to make it back? I am. Now, dying, you drop most of your inventory, but not all of it. And it drops as a storage crate. So if you sort of remember where you were when you die by like landmarks, you can just get back there and pick it up. It's not the end of the world. There doesn't appear to be any other cost except for the fact that you have to walk over there again. Right. Yes. No, I can make that, right? Yes. That has been made in here. But instead of making it in here, I'm going to make another living compartment. So I need another iron and another titanium. Now, you can spend time making your hab look nice with windows, and you can put chairs and couches and beds and stuff in it. But at the moment, they serve no purpose to the game, so I'm not going to do it. I might do it at some future point. I'll do it if anyone really requests to see what everything looks like. But no, there really isn't any reason to do anything in regards to that. Oh yes, I don't think you can make it from the inside. Now, these just clip on. So if you line them up and sort of point at the right piece, it'll just snap to. Thusly. Right. Oh, now I need another iron because I used up my iron. Is that iron? No, that's titanium. I'm just going to grab that for now just because. Is that iron? That's titanium too. That's iron. Score. And we'll build our first veggie tube. Now, veggie tubes, you basically place plant seeds in them, and you need plant seeds. You will find more of them. Now we've run out of power, so now everything's stopped. So my drill outside, it's not producing anymore, the screen's gone off. I can drop that in there. So I need to build another wind turbine, so I need more iron. Silicon, it's always a pain in the butt to find silicon. I'm going to grab that now. I must remember to store some of these things like that aluminium because I don't really need that cluttering up my inventory right at this moment. I'll need it later because aluminium's super hard to find, and you'll be desperate to find more and more aluminium. I say super hard to find. Once you actually work out where it is, it's like where there's a reasonable supply, you're pretty good. Right, we're going to need water soon, but not just yet, so that's alright. Alright, so now we're producing oxygen as well. Parts per quillion? I think. I don't know. PPQ. Right, so I don't want to make my base too small. So I might make a few rooms now, because the last time I just had a big long straight base that just went in a straight line like a worm. I want to do something better than that this time, so I'm going to gather some materials. Oh, it's more iron than titanium. I've got a lot of titanium, I've got very little iron. And that's magnesium, that's iron. So I'm going to do a bit of preemptive base building, which I didn't do last time. To give myself the chance to actually have a base that isn't a claustrophobic long corridor with stuff down both sides. Right, so there's absolutely no reason why I can't put 2 over here, right? Cool. That'll work for now. So we'll try not to use the back wall, and then we'll make it a 2 wide, basically still kind of corridorish, but better, and just keep heading back. So I will also, that's the take all button, and that's the shift all button, move all button. So deconstructing things gives you back full resources, so no reason not to. You can rotate with the mouse scroll wheel if you have one. If you don't have one, I guess you're out of luck. Right. Heater, we want to get to that heater. Oh no, so I still haven't got my own crafter. So there is a crafting machine. Ah, there it is, I can already make it. So we'll make our own crafting machine inside this little hab structure. You can slightly overlap for the purposes of saving space. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. It really depends on how you feel about aesthetics. Do you give a damn that the polygons are clipping into each other, or would you rather have everything look great? If you don't give a damn about the polygons clipping into each other, then of course ignoring the aesthetics will give you will be more efficient because you'll use less space. Water, drink the water. It's drinking the water. Let's build another wind turbine because I'm going to need one soon enough. So I'll just march these up in a sort of a straight line for now. Then we want to build a heater, so we're going to have to actually go and find the components to do so. So I'm going to need some spare oxygen tanks. So I'm going to gather some cobalt. So I can make some spare oxygen tanks. And then we'll sort of head over to that ship there. Cool, let's get rid of this titanium that's just in my inventory and I don't actually need at the moment. We'll just start heading towards that ship. Now, I'm expecting something to happen that means we'll actually get our iridium before we get to that ship. And that is, there are actually storage crates just scattered around the wilderness as well. Like, you can just find them. And there was one on the way to the ship in my first game. But apparently there isn't one in this one because of where the ship actually is. Unless there's one here? Yes, there is one here. So they don't appear to be random either, but because my spawn points changed just a little bit. Ah, but no iridium. So that's unexpected. Alright, I might grab all of that. Ooh, you know what? I can grab all of that and deconstruct it for the 1 iron that you get as well. And then we'll run back and we'll put all this in storage. I might need to even build another storage. There's another storage crate. So I've got to remember that. It's over there. Beyond that boulder. I should be able to find that easy enough. I might not make it. I'm going to run for the pod because it's a little bit closer. I might come up just shy. No, I'm just going to make it. That's cool. Close run thing though. I did have oxygen tanks in my inventory, of course. I could have just dropped it in my inventory. But I didn't want to waste them when you're that close to home. That close to home, I would rather just let my character die, to be honest. And then go and pick up what they dropped because I was like meters. Right. Silicon, magnesium, extra food, cobalt, iron, titanium doesn't fit. Get rid of that there. Now, blueprint microchips. You can use these over here, and there's just a thing on the bottom here that says decoder blueprint microchip. You press that. Gives you a free blueprint. In this case, agility boots tier 1, so I can go over here and I can find out how to build that. That's 2 aluminium, 2 fabric. I haven't found any fabric yet, and I've only got 1 aluminium. More important is this exoskeleton T1. So you'll notice that I've only got 4 gear slots. If you build an exoskeleton, you get extra gear slots. So titanium, silicon, and magnesium. I might have most of that here. Silicon, magnesium, titanium. Build that. And amusingly, it takes a gear slot, so I have to unslot something to slot that in. So I'm just going to take that out and put that in. Now I've got extra gear slots, and I can put that back. Cool. All right, so behind that rock? I think it was behind that rock. There was another storage container sitting there, so maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find some iridium in that. Trying to keep my eye out for aluminium as well because it's so rare. Nope, no iridium. We did get some eggplant seeds, which is nice. Nothing else. If I go up over the horizon, is there any... Don't see any aluminium or anything here. Nothing special. Looks like we will have to go all the way to the spaceship. Oh well. Yeah, so once I've dumped this off into my storage, which might require me to make yet another storage, we shall see. We'll actually make a trip all the way, all the live long way, decode this and see what it gives us. Mining speed T1. Now, I don't actually know what those are for. I've never made one. Equip this chip to reduce all mining time. Oh, okay. So later on you'll develop an all miner, and then that chip slot into that. So I'd got tier 1, 2, and 3 of that before I got the all miner. So some balance possibly still needs to be done on this game. Might be a bit far off as far as balance is concerned, like how quickly you unlock certain things versus how quickly you actually need them. Water bottle. Let's eat and drink so we are full on that. And that. And actually I might grab these 2 cobalt and go for a 3rd oxygen capsule because it's far and I've only got like tier 1 oxygen. Tier 2 oxygen tank. I do have a tier 2 oxygen tank available. Right, so silicon, cobalt, titanium, and 2 magnesium. Silicon, cobalt, titanium, and 2 magnesium. I need another magnesium. And your tier 1. So you need to actually use your tier 1 as well. So that's actually amusing when it comes to expanding your backpack, because you have to take your backpack tier 1 out of its slot to create the tier 2 slot, which reduces the size of your backpack, which makes you drop everything. It's pretty funny. But in this case, it's the oxygen tank. I'm fine in here because I'm getting oxygen produced, so I don't actually need my oxygen tank. But you'll notice in the bottom left, the oxygen number went to 100. With the tank in, it's 145. Let's see what happens when I do the tier 2. $200. Cool, huh? Yeah, so now we've got a little more space. We've got more oxygen before we need to refill. The oxygen capsules that you make, they fully refill an entire bar. So regardless of how big your oxygen tank on your suit is, the oxygen canisters you carry with you will fully refill it. And as per usual, when I make a coffee before streaming, I've been talking so much my coffee has gone cold. It's gone dark, that's not ideal. Alright, we're going to make a run for the crashed spaceship. There's actually one closer than this one, but you can see this one and it's kind of on the horizon, and it was the first one that I went to last time. So let's go to it first this time. No, let's not. You know why not? I do not have a flashlight. Can't get around inside that ship without the flashlight. I do have the upgraded exo suit or whatever it's called, so that I can actually fit a flashlight on. But I do not have the flashlight microchip. Actually starting to get a runny nose as well. That's unfortunate. Excuse me. Doesn't normally happen on stream. Silicon, magnesium, magnesium. It doesn't really happen. I very rarely get a runny nose at all. I'm not one of those people with sinus issues or anything. I was thinking about it last night. I do have one slightly malformed tear duct. When I yawn, my right eye cries. Like it goes teary, the tear ducts get compressed enough that I actually have a single tear if I yawn. It's caused confusion before. An old girlfriend was actually like, "Why are you crying? What's wrong?" Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "No, nothing's wrong. I've got this weird tear duct thing." And she didn't want to believe me. She was convinced I was sad about something and crying. I'm like, "No, look, serious." And then I couldn't yawn, so I couldn't make it happen again for like days. But yeah, I was just thinking about it last night as I was going to sleep, because it happened. I was tired, I yawned, I had a single tear, I had to wipe the tear away. It's really strange, and I thought it happened to everyone, and I was like in my early 30s before I realized A, it doesn't happen to everyone, and B, if I really think about it, it only ever happens in my right eye. I think everyone gets a little bit teary, but in my case, there's so much liquid produced out of my right eye that it actually dribbles out. It's a thing. Well, we've just got the inventory upgrade now as well, so I think we need to do that because there's a lot of stuff to collect on the ship, so we might as well do that. So 1 iron, 1 silicon, and 1 titanium. Iron, titanium. Gotta go find that silicon. Silicon. It's so silly. Why are you so silly, silicon? Right. That's magnesium. That all looks like iron. Yeah, see, now we're reaching the point where there's iron frickin' everywhere. And I've already got so much there, silicon. And I've already got heaps of iron stored. And everything else is becoming the stuff that you actually have to go far from base to actually look for. But not that far. And we're due for another meteor shower any minute now. I think they are random. Right, so if I take the backpack off, suddenly smaller inventory. Bigger inventory, excellent. All right, so after all of that, I'm gonna eat and drink something. So I need ice now as well. There's a bit of ice, excellent. Make a bottle of water, drink, eat. Be merry. Let's go to the spaceship. Spaceship! Drink my ice cold coffee. All right. So yeah, now that we have sort of 200 oxygen bar, increased inventory space, it probably wasn't worth actually trying to get to the spaceship until this point. Because otherwise, like by now, we probably would have almost been needing to use our first oxygen canister already, and we hadn't even gotten close. So F to turn the light on. You'll see on the your tool in the bottom right, where your guy's holding it, that there's a light indicator, which is nice. A little thing that you think doesn't. You're like, it doesn't really add much, and I'm like, yeah, it does. It's there. All right, this stuff always seems to be random, and it does sometimes appear to respawn. I don't know what the rules for it respawning is. But every now and again it's back. So see, this thing is blocking my way. So I have to use the deconstructor to deconstruct it and get through. These little canisters always contain a blueprint. Right, we're about to run out of oxygen. So I need to, use an oxygen capsule and I get full oxygen back. Now, this is a heater, it's a broken one. But if I deconstruct it, I get a full heater's worth of components back, including the iridium, which is what I needed. So that's enough for my first heater, but we'll explore a little bit further because we've got a couple of oxygen tanks, so there's no reason to go straight home. But we will very shortly run out of inventory space because there's a lot of stuff here. There's another iridium. I'm actually getting a more super alloy than I normally would. Super alloy comes later. You'll be able to learn how to make super alloy, but quite late in the game. Now I have a full inventory, I might as well return. It's pretty much good enough. We got what we were after, we got iridium, in fact we got 2 of them. Now, no fall damage. So this is an ice cave, it's all frozen over, and later on you'll actually raise the temperature of the planet enough to unfreeze the ice. And then you can get through there. So, no fall damage, so... There's my base. Oh, there is fall damage. But that was a really big fall and I didn't die. Did that actually do anything, or did it just give me a red thing? I don't feel like it did anything except give me a red thing. Oh no. So it costs you a lot of food, literally, to fall that far. But that was it. It cost me food. Need that because I am gonna die before I get back. Oh no, I might have made it to the pod actually. Oh well, too bad. Right, now we can start producing heat. I need some heat. And yeah, so you can rotate it to sort of fit differently, take up more or less space. I like them to be this way around just so I can see them. And there you are. And now I will start actually producing heat. Kind of looks like it says hurt, but yeah, it's heat. It's just the font that kind of looks a bit like a weird R. Yeah, so we're at 415 Ti. We've unlocked a few extra things. We've unlocked a living compartment window, not very useful, but we have. And eventually we'll get at 500 PK. Yes, it seems like it's really far away. It pretty much is. The VeggieTube version 2. It is more efficient than the VeggieTube 1. That's basically what they are, as they are more efficient than the previous versions. Parts per trillion? And we're only at parts per quillion. So we have to start producing at a faster rate, and we will soon. So now that we've basically done... Need to eat. I only got 1 fabric out of all that. I pretty much need to go back almost immediately because I didn't get much out of that run. Agility boots tier 2. So they need super alloys and fabrics, and we've got 2 frickin' super alloys. That's almost worth it. I mean, normally I wouldn't be so wasteful and use my super alloys so early on such a frivolous thing, but 30% increased movement speed is kind of worth it because of how much less oxygen you use traveling long distances at 30% increased movement speed. Right, let me get some water. So I need some ice. And I'll grab a couple more cobalt because it took us 2. So I've only got 1 oxygen tank left, so let's make sure I've got 2 before I head back to the ship. Or do I head to the other ship and show you where the other ship is? I'll head to the other ship and show you where the other ship is, because that's also not very far. I've already got a water. Okay. Well, we'll store that ice for later then. Alright. So, there it is. Head towards this landmark and go over the horizon and you'll see another ship. Maybe it is further. I'm not sure now. Maybe it was closer because when I originally landed, like, I was here. This was where my base was, so that was a little bit closer. There's also a storage crate here, so let's empty this on the way over there. Anything good in that? Not really. More food, which is necessary because, yeah, early in the game, food is a finite resource. It only becomes renewable much later in the game. I say much later. It's not too much later, but it is later. Like, it's a fair bit. I would say I was maybe an hour and a half in before it became renewable. So, yeah. Takes its time. Alright, actually up to the point where I need more storage. Do I go 3 wide? What would be the point of going 3 wide? There's no reason to go 3 wide. We'll stay 2 wide. Which means I really just want to slot this storage container in there, up against the wall, as close as I can. And then drop that in there. Right, so if you head for those things, you will see another ship. It's much smaller, it doesn't have as much stuff in it, but there's some stuff in it, so we'll go there and we'll see what we get out of that one. Kind of work out how far away it is. Because my base is slightly further away, this one might actually be far enough away that I might need a 3rd tank to both explore and get home. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, that's pretty far, hey. That might be 3 tanks away. By the time I get there, I'm going to have used 1 oxygen tank. Which means I have to turn around and go home pretty much as soon as I get there. So they're incoming. I believe they always land around your base. I don't think it's... No, they do land everywhere. So they either land everywhere or they land where you are, which means that all these resources are basically being wasted because they're landing here where I am. So I get almost no time to explore this ship. I'm going to maximize. I'm going to use my oxygen at the very last moment, and I'm going to try and find whatever I can find before I have to leave. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Nothing good. Deconstruct. Chip. Deconstruct. Deconstruct. Running out of oxygen. Must use. Damn. Open that up. Still not a lot worth using. But at least it was something. Deconstruct. Is that it? No, there's one here. Cool. What's that? I'll take that and that and that because they're more important than everything else in that crate. And we'll head home. Alright, so now the other cool thing that's worth mentioning. Okay, base is that way because I know that's there, so it's around there. That's a different kind of biome. You see how the rocks are different? They're kind of shiny. It took me a while, but that is where you find aluminium. You find quite a bit of aluminium within that sort of field of rocks. So while it's very hard to find aluminium at first, I got most of my aluminium from going to the ships and going through their storage and finding, like, deconstructing things that were made of aluminium to make things made of aluminium. Later on, I discovered by going to that biome for the first time that, oh, this is where all aluminium hides. Yeah, I'm really far from home. Like Spider-Man. We'll definitely have to use my last oxygen container, but that's alright. I will definitely make it home. And we've got a full inventory, so it wasn't a wasted trip. We did as much as we sort of could have done. But it turns out that that one is closer. I'm going to have to use it. There's no point in saving it any longer than that because I'm going to have to use it. So I might as well just use it. There's no real reason not to use it early because it's not going to make any difference whether I use it at the very last second or whether I use it a bit early because I'm going to get home and my tanks are going to get refilled anyway. Right. So we have enough stuff to build some stuff, I think. Okay, so here's something. So you do get different plants. So these plants have a 200% oxygen multiplier versus this seed lerma that is 100% oxygen multiplier. It doesn't say it, but it's only 100%. So if I take that out and put that in, I'll actually produce oxygen faster while this weird plant grows in there instead. So that's worth it. And yeah, like I said, you'll find that you no longer have a shortage of iron. I'm gonna go and build those extra fast legs. Oh, I don't have tier 1 legs yet. I didn't even build the tier 1 legs? Wow, okay. Oh, that's because they also require aluminium and fabric, and I didn't have enough fabric. And I don't have enough aluminium either. I've got like 1 aluminium so far, don't I? Need even more storage space. No, wait, give me that. See, mining chip tier 2, which I don't need because I'm so far away from the ore miner, it's not funny. Right. Keep storage on that side, and we'll actually expand the base backwards a little bit, which I think was 2 iron and a titanium, which I probably have inside, but I also want to kind of look out and make sure I'm not... Yeah, you see this stuff will just float off the ground. It appears to have super powers that allows it to just float in midair without... Oops. Without running out of structural integrity. Quite impressive, really. There we go, it gives us a bit more space to expand. Right, let's build another heater. Because we've got the 1 iridium, and I need iron and silicon for that. Well, there's iron. Do I have another silicon here? I do. Cool, I can make it look like the pipes are connected. Sort of. Ran out of power, so now I need to produce some more power. We still only have the 1 power producing thing, and that is a wind turbine, which luckily is very cheap. We will learn new power producing things soon as well, like they'll be on their way. There we go. Now we haven't built another drill in a while, so let's build another drill. Titanium and iron, should have that here as well. Oops. Beautiful. So now that'll start working faster. So we're producing 0.4 nanopascals per second. We're producing 0.6 pk. Picokelvin would be my guess. Picokelvins per second. And that's got to be parts per quillion of oxygen. So let's produce a little bit more oxygen as well. So we need one more Vegetube. So that's iron, ice, and magnesium. Iron, ice, and magnesium. Look at that. We'll put the good one in. And there we go. So now we've doubled the rate at which we're terraforming. And that's the basis of the game, as you just keep doubling the rate or increasing the rate at which you produce TI. And you just keep trying to do that over and over and over again until you reach the point in the game where you get new stuff. And I should be getting closer to producing new stuff. So, solar panel, that's a really good one. 1.0 killer TI. So that's just 1,000 TI. We're about to reach that. So I'm about to start producing solar panels, which are better than the wind panels. They're more efficient. 1 part per trillion. We're pretty far away from that. And that will eventually give us the heater too, which is nice. That's pretty good. Vegetube, we're pretty far away from that as well. 1.2 micropascals. We're pretty far away from that as well. It's really, yeah. So we might go to 3 of the things that we can. I think we're out of iridium. Like we don't have any more iridium, so we can't make any more heaters. But I can make another Vegetube and I can make another drill, so we'll do that. Which will then also mean we'll probably have to make more power. But we'll do that when it comes to it. So, titanium and iron. Let's not use my stuff. Let's collect some stuff from outside. I'm going to need water soon, so I'm going to grab one of those. Ah, there we go, solar panel level 1. So we'll make one of those when we run out of power, which we inevitably will, when we make this next drill. Yeah, so I think because I was actually far away from home when the meteors dropped, they didn't drop near home. They actually dropped far away, which means I didn't get new resources around the base, and I have to go further afield to find resources. Like I said, iron's now plentiful, and now it's things like titanium and silicon that you've got to run around in circles around your base to be like, where the hell is all the titanium? There's one. Later on, you'll also get navigation aids like a compass and beacons. Beacons are nice. You just drop them down and they leave a marker that no matter what is in your way, no matter what is between you... Okay, there, now we've run out of power. Let me just grab some oxygen. Can I still craft? I can still craft, great. Some water. Don't need the food just yet, we'll leave that till later. And we'll make a solar panel. So iron, 2 cobalt, and a silicon. So it's not cheap. So iron, 2 cobalt. Don't have any silicon. And it always produces the same amount of power, never mind what the actual light level is. It produces this much power ad infinitum. Is how it works. So don't be too worried about, oh, it's dark, oh, I've got to place it in the sunniest spot. No, you just have to have it. So long as you have it, it will do its job. So, produces 6.5 kilowatts per second. These only produce 1.2 kilowatts per second. So much more efficient to have these. Right, a Vegetube. Let's build another Vegetube. For which I need iron, ice, and magnesium. Magnesium, iron, need some ice. That's relatively plentiful, pretty easy to find. It's the easiest thing to find, ice, because it's the only thing that looks like this. It's the most... The easiest resource to find, besides iron, because you'll just end up with so much iron, it's not funny. It's like, well, I don't even need to go finding iron. I need to get rid of all this bloody iron that I've got as my big problem. And you'll find that to be your problem as well. Luckily, I've still got more of these nice efficient seeds, so we'll go with those. There's also one in between that's like a red flower. The red flower is 150% efficient. And these green ones, you will eventually need to actually make constructions later. They will be required in building, so they will get used up. Whereas at the moment they're renewable because I can take them in and out. And the fact that it regrows, like the fact that I took it out, means that the plant is now back to a tiny little plant, doesn't actually make any difference. This thing still produces the same amount of oxygen regardless of the stage of growth of the plant. But over time, the plant does actually grow to look cooler. So there's that. Right, what else are we near unlocking? 500, we're getting close on that one. Miles away on that one, and that's not even important because that's the only one that I care about. That's good. That'll be nice when we get it, but we're pretty far away. We're about halfway there now. That's really good, but yeah, that also takes ages. Double bed is totally useless. That large storage locker, that's really good. And when you finally reach the advanced craft station, that's when you know you've reached the next thing. That's at 175 Killer TI, which if you can notice in the top right of the screen. No, straight up, right above me. Top left of the screen. Reach blue sky, 175,000 Ti. And that, once you've reached that point, the color of the sky will actually become blue. It's pretty cool. Yeah, let's keep going. Can't really do much more. I really like more heat. Let's go and work on getting the rest of the resources out of that ship. So we'll grab some cobalt so we can make some more oxygen tanks. We'll just grab an ice because I'm going to eat and drink before I go so that I'm full of... how much have I got? I need one more cobalt. There's one right there. We'll grab that one. I'm going to eat and drink before I go as well. That should be inside my house. It's not. Interesting. Right, so I need to make 2 oxygen capsules. 1 water so I can drink. So water's infinitely replenishable. And food is eventually, but it takes a long time to get to the point where food is infinitely replenishable. But you eventually will. You have to find the storage containers scattered around the environment as well as the ones in the ships to get enough food to survive to the point where you can actually grow your own food. It's difficult to do, but it is doable. Yeah, definitely a lot closer to this ship. So going to the other ship was a little bit of a mistake because it's not a very big ship and there's not a lot in it, and it cost us a lot to get there. Really should wait until I get the next tier of oxygen tanks before that one's really worth visiting. Turn my light on, go to the deconstructor, head on in. Sometimes these respawn, so yeah, I'll go and check here all the time. Like the storage container respawns, but it's empty, like there's nothing in it, but it respawns. So it's weird. Okay, did we not empty this one? We didn't empty this one. Ah, look, that's a tier 2 heater there. So when I deconstruct that, I'm gonna get a lot of cool stuff out of it. 2 iridium, which is cool. Alright, I'm going to use my oxygen now. I can deconstruct that for a piece of iron, although it doesn't really help. It just gives me a piece of iron. There's not a lot more here, there's just more storage crates. And then this thing. 17 days space travel, blah, 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 blah. We're going to try and make an emergency landing, but they crashed. Take that, because that's definitely worth it. Deconstruct the container. And there might be cool stuff in here, so let's just check. Uranium, I don't need it now. It's not going to help. I'm going to put that iron back and grab that aluminium because it's going to be more useful. Is there any more aluminium? No, but there's more iridium, so I'm going to put an iron there and take the iridium. And there's heaps more iridium here. So iron, iridium, iridium. That is... Oh, and aluminium there as well. I'll grab that aluminium. This is a fusion reactor. It takes a long time before you get fusion fuel that you can use in the fusion reactor. It's a long, long way away. I don't know whether I can deconstruct that reactor or whether I just fuel it up. I have not reached that point of the game yet. Excuse me. Alright, VeggieTube level 2. So that's more efficient. Now, it is worth, especially for heaters and drills, entirely replacing your old ones with the new one once you learn it. So you can actually deconstruct the old one for its component parts to reconstruct the new one. Inevitably, the level 2s will require aluminium, so that restricts you somewhat, because especially in the early game, aluminium's pretty low. Like, you just don't have a lot of it. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, see, falls like that, not big enough. So you definitely want to replace old with new where possible, but it won't always be possible because you might be limited by resources. The same goes for things like the iridium. Like it's you don't get that much iridium, and I haven't found anywhere where you can just mine it. It isn't a resource that's just lying around on the surface of the planet. It only seems to turn up in storage. So let's just dump everything that we're not needing immediately to be carrying into our storage. Cool, let's decode this. Compass, okay. The compass is not as useful as the beacon. The compass, I haven't found that to actually do anything. It just adds a compass heading in the top middle of your screen, a la most of these sorts of things. Right, tier 2. Ah, this one's good because it is an upgrade and it still doesn't require aluminium. Iron, magnesium, silicon, and ice. Those are easy to find and almost infinitely replenishable. Iron, magnesium. We'll grab enough for 2. 2 silicon. And what was it? 2 ice, which means 4 ice. There's a silicon. Need 1 more silicon and we can make 2 VeggieTubes. There's a silicon. Now we will get, of course, some resources back, and I don't remember what those resources are. You get all the resources back from whatever was crafted. So we'll take that out, we'll deconstruct it, and get back magnesium, ice, and iron. All right, so it was a fair bit of stuff. Now, these are taller and cannot fit in the doorways. So because of where I placed everything else, I can't fit this in. So I'm going to just bring it into this room, and we'll start again back here. There we go. Now these do use more energy, so there's a really good chance that by deconstructing these and reconstructing the more advanced versions, I'm going to run out of electricity and I'm going to have to go outside and make another solar panel as well. But no, apparently we're still okay. Let's see if we can make a third one. Probably don't have the resources. Yeah, I'm missing a silicon. Let's go find a silicon. I should have shown you the difference between the two as far as efficiency goes as well. I didn't do that either. Would really like some more meteors to land because I was so far from home last time that they didn't land around here. There's a storage crate. Was that always there? Indoor ladder. Totally useless for a long time. We'll grab as much of that as we can. Making sure I get at least 1 silicon, and I did, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that sometimes these things just spawn. Oh, backpack Mark III. That's good. That'll almost certainly cost us, I would say, aluminium to make. If not something even more expensive. Right, so these 2.4 parts per quillion per second at 1.25 kilowatts. Whereas this 0.15, so parts per quillion per second, double that because of the efficiency of the thing, so 0.3 versus 2.4 at 1.25 kilowatts versus 0.35 kilowatts. So they do use a lot more energy, but they're more than, they're more than that much. Actually, I'm not sure if the efficiency might be linear. How does that work out? I need a calculator. Hey Google, give me a hand. So 1.2 divided by, what was it, 0.15? 0.15. So that's 8 times more efficient in the oxygen department. But 1.25 divided by 0.35. Oh, versus 3.5 times as power hungry. So yeah, so the efficiency goes up per power, which is exactly what you want, really. Cool, and we haven't run out of electricity yet either. We're now producing a lot more oxygen. 7.2 ppqs. Nice. We can also increase the amount of heat we produce, but I'm going to add more solar panels first, just because. Now over there, somewhere here was a storage chest, and there was a silicon in it, and there was other stuff in it. Ooh, heater tier 2. So we will actually be replacing our initial heaters with heaters tier 2. Where is it? It was over here somewhere, wasn't it? Am I going the wrong way? Where the hell was that storage chest? Am I tripping? Don't be tripping, Craig. Ah, there it is. I'll grab an ice because I'm going to need to drink soon. I'm also going to need to eat soon. We'll start replacing our tier 1 heaters with tier 2 heaters, which will inevitably lead us to need more power, because they've got to be the least efficient things, surely. Producing heat is always, it's not that it's inefficient, it's that it's always really expensive. It's never cheap to produce heat. I've got a thingy to decode. Let's see if that gives me anything good. Tier 3 mining speed. Once again, I don't even have access to that yet, and it's already given me the tier 3 for it. So let's just dump off all this excess stuff that we don't need in our cluttering up our inventory at this moment. It's alright, we can have 1 iron in our inventory, nothing wrong with just having 1 iron sitting around. Oh, gauge already full. When did I drink? Oh well. Alright, yeah, so heaters. So more efficient to actually deconstruct the one you've got and put in a new one. So let's deconstruct one of these. Gives us back our iridium. We now have most of the things that we need. Let's grab an extra iridium. What else do we need? We also need a titanium, and now we're into the aluminium. So now is why it's really important that I collected all the aluminium that I found earlier in the game, because, yeah. This thing's now in the way, so I'm going to deconstruct it and reconstruct it in the corner. In fact, when we put this here, out of the way. Tier 2, that way, because it takes up less space. This one doesn't snap to the grid. Can you build it outside? No. But it doesn't snap to the grid. Interesting. Maybe you could build it on a foundation? I don't know, I haven't checked. Anyway, so again, let's once again, Monsieur Google. Let's see. 4.5 divided by 0.3. Yeah, type skills. 0.3. So that's 15 times more heat produced at 3.5 times the energy. That's super efficiency. That's way more. All right, let's deconstruct this one as well. And then get the pieces together to build another one. So I definitely need one more aluminium, and I can't remember what the rest of it was. I need another titanium. Not aluminium, iridium, but I do need an aluminium as it turns out. And let's put that in. So the amount of heat that I'm producing now compared to the amount of heat I was producing moments ago, massively different. Okay, now we finally run out of power, but we were expecting that, so I need to build another one of these. So I need some cobalt and some silicon. So let's see if I've got any silicon. No, I do have enough cobalt. Ah, there's a silicon, excellent. Which means I can make one of these. Yeah, so with the efficiency, I haven't found the reason to deconstruct these early ones yet because the resources they're made out of are cheap. That's not really gonna help you deconstructing those. You're not gonna get back any resources that are worth it. Kind of the same with these, except for the fact that these are just more space efficient. So I just like going from the small one to these big ones because it's just better. Same thing with the heaters. The heaters, because iridium is so rare, it's absolutely worth deconstructing the old ones to make the new ones if you have the resources, like the 1 extra iridium it costs, because of how efficient they are. And yeah, so now we are starting to produce TI at a pretty good rate by comparison to where we were before. We're getting close to that drill mark too. That's going to be good. Now, backpack tier 3, that's useful, so we're going to look into how to actually make that. What do we need for that? 2 aluminium, titanium, and a silicon. That's really expensive, but it's worth it. I think that might be the last of my aluminium. 2 aluminium, a titanium. Should have enough space to actually, unslot my backpack to make the backpack Mark 3. That's just so worth it to have this much inventory space when you go to the ships to take things out of the ships, that it's you know, there's no way it's not worth having this much extra space. The problem is we're now basically we are out of aluminium. Now, I told you where we could actually get aluminium. So we're going to go and get aluminium from that place. So I'm going to get another bit of cobalt. Oh, new screen blueprint produced. I've never used that screen, I don't think. Maybe for you guys, I will make the extra screens that I never use. I've never used them, but yeah, let's make the extra screens. Why not? We'll have some extra screens so we can see more information that we couldn't otherwise see. Couple of extra oxygen capsules, we'll drink that water. The extra screens, I've never bothered to do it. Energy level screen, iron, silicon, and magnesium. Silicon's a pain in the arse to find these days. Iron, magnesium, I don't think I've got another silicon handy. No, let's go find a silicon. Kinda hard in the dark. I really wish it would rain some materials, it's been ages. It does appear to be somewhat random. Sometimes they'll come really close together and sometimes they'll come really far apart. But eventually there'll be more stuff falling from the sky. This wind does appear to kick up pretty often. It doesn't do anything to the wind turbines. Ah, there we go. So if I stay close to home, the meteor should land close to home. which should replenish the supplies in this vicinity. Now you can get 1 or 2 aluminiums dropping. Alright, so the screens do appear to be like, because you click on them to what? No. Yeah, I'm not trying to deconstruct that. I want to deconstruct the screen. There we go. So that I can put this screen right on the edge of the table like that, because that looks cooler. Yeah, you just click on them, so it's not like you need to actually see them. So yeah, that shows you how much we're producing, how much we're using, what for, and how much is left available. Did I just unlock something new? I think I did. Oxygen tank version 3, that's also going to be super useful, so we'll definitely try and make that one. That'll probably require aluminium, which I don't have. Progress, displays your progress in different terraforming stages. Now I don't think I've ever seen this one. So we need some cobalt, some iron. Iron's easy, so we'll grab the cobalt and go looking for silicon. Hopefully there'll be enough new resources around here that we might find things like silicon much quicker. That seems pretty conclusive. What is it? 2 silicon and an iron. We'll grab an iron on the way back if I find one. There we go. Let's grab an ice as well. And then I might go looking around just to see if there's any aluminium lying around here, because if I can get enough to make the oxygen tank version 3 before I go looking for the field of aluminium, that'd be good. Oh, this is a really big screen and it fits on the wall. I didn't know that. Well, we'll just put that back there. Baron, blue sky. We're 6.0 whatever towards the next stage. I'd never seen that before, but that's an interesting thing to have. Drill version 2, excellent. We also won't be able to do that without aluminium, I'm almost certain. We still haven't even got agility boots 1 because we don't have enough aluminium, and I need 1 aluminium to make that. And I have none, but there's a really high chance that there'll be 1 aluminium scattered around here somewhere, dropped by those meteors. So let's have a quick look and see if I can find 1 aluminium so I can make a tier 3 oxygen tank to go to the place where all the aluminium is, so I can bring back lots of aluminium to make all the other things that I need that use aluminium. Is that aluminium? No, that's silicon. Yeah, I don't see any yet. But we'll look around. There's almost always 1. They give you just like 1 to wet your whistle out of the entire meteor shower. If you get real lucky, you'll get 1. I'm going to grab that silicon just because silicon's always a pain in the butt to find. And so while we're looking at it, let's grab it. Floaty node of cobalt. Scattered around. Come on, give me 1. Give me 1. I just need 1. Okay, there's normally a storage chest in this little canyon. We could go there. We might go there. It's not like oxygen tanks are expensive to make, and I happen to have 2 on me, so we'll see. There might be aluminium in this storage chests. So, can't remember what's beyond it. I think another wreck. Come on, aluminium. 1. That's enough. And 1 more iridium, which is nice. Alright, so we'll make our upgraded oxygen tank, which is the most useful thing. And from there we'll then be able to go to the fields of aluminium, where all the aluminium is. The beacon. The beacon's nice. It makes it easier to... See, now we've got another meteor shower. That's way faster than the last one. That one hit the cliff. That's annoying. Any aluminium in here? Titanium, ice, titanium, titanium, no. Ooh, I can get hit by that one. Let's find out if you die. You do. Well, you get hurt. And then I bled out or whatever. Because I was out of food. Okay, finding my inventory is actually going to be kind of hard. Where was I? Back there somewhere, right? But yeah, you drop some of your inventory. You never drop your gear. You just drop some of the things that you were carrying. Oh man, I need that aluminium. Where was I? Should be a storage chest. There it is. Yeah, so you can die by getting hit by meteors, but, you know, that's the first time it's happened. Come on. Maybe another scattered bit of aluminium back here. Get lucky. Glance around while I'm, you know, got the oxygen and so on and so forth to move through. No, it doesn't look like it. Anyway, that's enough for an upgraded oxygen tank. So we'll upgrade our oxygen tanks and then go and check the aluminium fields for aluminium. So what does it take to upgrade our oxygen tank? It takes the oxygen tank, and I need a magnesium and a titanium as well. That's in this chest. There's a magnesium. There should be a titanium there. It's an oxygen tank, so it's not going to affect my thing. So I can do that, do that, do that, and now we're at 280. Nice. Let's dump off all these excess things that I don't need right now. Let's eat a space food. No, let's eat 2 space food. Drink of water. Leave the water behind. Blah, blah, blah. It's just ice. I don't need that. I will grab some cobalt to make a second oxygen tank. Be worth having 2 of those. It's almost worth wandering around now and looking at where all these meteors landed, because there will be one more aluminium here somewhere. It'll just be a matter of finding where it landed. I say there will be. I don't know if it's actually guaranteed, but I seem to find one after every meteor shower. I found 1 aluminium, and you kind of have to wait for all the debris to despawn, which takes time, and then it becomes easier to spot because aluminium's a different shape to everything else. But yeah, I always seem to find just 1. Never 2, but just 1. Sometimes if there'd been 2 showers and I hadn't gone looking, or I'd gone looking and hadn't found one immediately after the shower, I'd find 2 after the next shower, but I assume that means that 1 came from one shower and 1 came from the other shower. But yeah, I'm not seeing... There it is. There's 1. That's what aluminium looks like. So we got 1. I don't know whether 1's going to help us. Ah, there's 2. There's another one all the way over here. Again, I'm not sure if 2 fell during that shower or if 1 is from a previous shower. I just don't know. Now, I saw a storage crate here somewhere as well. There it is. We'll definitely see what's in that, because why is there a storage crate out here? I haven't found this storage crate before. No aluminium. How very disappointing. Aluminium or iridium. What are you good for? Waste of space storage. It's like... I was about to say an oxymoron, but it's not. An oxymoron by specifically must be 2 words. So waste of space storage is a contradiction in terms as opposed to an oxymoron, because it's not just 2 words. The more you know. Ooh, solar panel level 2. Well, those are great. Those are almost worth replacing those for, but because you get most of the same resources back, but not really, because everything except the aluminium is easy to find anyway, so you just build those now. That is almost worth building, but also kind of not. Like, I know my way around, so I don't really need it. I do have more stuff in my inventory than I would like, so we've got to dump some of this off. I'm actually going to need to build more storage, I think. We've got 2 aluminium, which is really nice. What were we going to make with that? We were going to make the boots. The boots. Can definitely make the first level of boots. We've got enough fabric for that. Excellent. Now we can move faster. Now the next level of boots requires the first two more fabric. Do I have 2 more fabric? I think that's what I don't have. Yeah, I don't have enough fabric, so I've got to go find more fabric. I've got the super alloy, but I don't have the fabric. But that's cool. We've got an expanded oxygen slot. We've got an expanded inventory. We've got the first level boots, which at least is worth it because, you know, we can move faster. We can also dump off more of this inventory stuff because... yeah, because... right. Now, let's go around the corner where there is more aluminium. So, you head to that ridge next to that thingy. It's over there. And hang a right. You have to cross a little ravine, so there's a easy place to cross. I'm pretty sure like you can get in and out pretty easily. Like I haven't got stuck there before. I think it is possible to get stuck and that you'll eventually just have to wait until you die due to lack of oxygen or thirst or food. Probably oxygen. I imagine that's the one that'll run out first. Is that aluminium? No, it's titanium. That's aluminium. Okay, definitely more than 1 per shower then I would say. But how much you get appears to be, you know, you don't get much. You get some. That's all I can say. You get a bit of aluminium in each meteor shower, but you don't get a lot. And your best bet is actually to come over to this thing. The easiest way across is here. That's not too bad either. You can walk out into that spit of land and jump off those rocks. I don't know whether you can get stuck. Maybe down that hole. But otherwise, it's relatively easy to just run over here and, yeah. Once you're properly within these fields, the color will actually change. There, it's starting to change now. There are a few chests around here as well. But there's also lots of aluminium just lying around on the ground. So look around, you'll find aluminium. Aluminium, I'll take the food. I'll actually just leave everything else for now and I'll worry about that chest another time. I'm here for aluminium. I want as much of that as I can carry. There is another ship craft there that's pretty small, like there's not a lot in it, so it's almost worth going over there to see what there is. I might have a look. Yeah, I've got the oxygen to do so. I'll take the aluminium, leave everything else. The way in is up on top of these rocks. You have to climb in through the, I guess this would have been the front windshield. And there's 4 storage containers. There wasn't 4 last time I was here. There's a lot of aluminium. We're going to take all of that. And the iridium. I'll take the food. Oh, and the super alloy and the iridium. And that extra fabric we needed. And another aluminium. And more aluminium. And look, uranium. Uranium's really rare. I don't really need more iridium at the moment. I'll take the aluminium. We'll have to remember to come back because there's even more stuff here. But that extra fabric's going to be good because that'll increase our movement speed, which we needed. Oh, that's going to hurt if I screw that up. The way back is that way. Cool. Yeah, I've never got enough uranium to do anything with it because the only thing that I found that needed uranium was eventually develop a nuclear power plant, and the nuclear power plant needs a uranium rod, which needs 9 uranium, and I found like 3 uranium in my entire time. Now I've got the next level of exoskeleton, which, yeah, so you jump across here and you can go across this spit of land as well. I've never found enough uranium to make that power plant, so yeah, I just didn't do it because I never found enough uranium. I assume there was a level of the game that I hadn't reached. I think it's that cave that I showed you that's up there that needs to melt out. You need to raise the temperature enough to melt that. I got the feeling that had uranium in it, probably. Best guess. And I never got the planet warm enough to melt that. How long have we been playing now? An hour and a half. This game does need a while to sort of show you. I mean, I've kind of given you the idea, but I want to get to blue skies so you can at least see, oh look, the planet is changing before I call it. So I needed this aluminium, which gets us to the point where we can now start advancing at a much quicker pace. Now, somewhere here is one more fabric. There. Great. So I need to dump off some stuff. So I can pick up the one more fabric. Oh, and I do need the 2 super alloys. So let's grab 2 super alloys. And that will give me everything I need to make agility level 3. Level 2, sorry. Excellent. What else have I unlocked recently? Oh yes, the next level of exoskeleton. There we are. 1 aluminium. That's not very expensive. I don't really need it though, because I don't have anything that I want to socket in. I've still got a spare slot and I don't have anything I want to put there. So let's not worry about that. Drills. Let's make better drills. We can, but they're so cheap it's not worth it. Oh look, I didn't need aluminium. I really thought I needed aluminium to make drills tier 2, and I don't. What a waste. Let's grab some iron then. And any titanium we've got stored here, which is probably minimal, if anything. And then we'll dump any aluminium we have in our inventory into any empty slots so that I can free up space in my inventory. Hydration is low. I need to drink water. Good thing there's a water right there. Fantabulous. We'll drink that. Bigger drills. Bigger drills take up bigger space and more power as well. That'll probably immediately low power me. I'm going to make 2 of them straight off the bat, and then I'm going to... That despawned. Ah, so the resources that come from the fallen asteroids actually despawn eventually. Did not know that. It's still alright, there's still plenty of resources around. You'll never really run out. You never have to go that far afield to look for something. Except for aluminium, which of course you have to go far-ish afield, but now that I've shown you where, it's not like that's that far. And once you've got a decent level oxygen tank, cobalt's everywhere, you never really run out of cobalt. You can always get more. See, I reckon that hit this pod directly. Alright, so we made 2, which is going to increase that by a lot, but now we need to make the level 2 power thing. So I'm going to grab some aluminium. I'm definitely going to need any silicon I've got, and I think cobalt is the other thing I'm going to need. So yeah, let's try not to get hit. Yeah, that took a direct impact and it didn't hurt it, so... Oh, I do need magnesium, and then lots of cobalt. So any magnesium I've got we'll grab as well. Don't know how much of it I need, I wasn't paying attention. But I need some, so I'll grab some. And then what? Just a lot of cobalt. I've got everything else. Yep, a lot of cobalt. Appears to be cobalt around the place. There's always cobalt around the place. Yeah, if you move off the node, move the mouse cursor off the node before it's finished, it doesn't finish harvesting the node. And yeah, you need to start again. So don't do that, it's a waste of your time. Don't waste your time. Right, all this crap is here, which means I might not actually be able to build it where I want to build it because all this crap is here. But we'll see. No, yes, it does interfere. That's a shame. It's not a big deal. We'll just place it here to start with instead. So one of those was enough to restore power to the grid. I need one more iron. That should be bloody easy. There should be iron everywhere. New blueprint, double bed, useless. Unless you're into designing cool looking houses. Which, there's not that many decorative features in this game yet, so I don't know, maybe you want to, maybe you don't. I don't. It doesn't do much for me. So for me, that's just a useless upgrade. It doesn't accomplish anything. Now we should have plethora of extra power, which is nice. And we are producing still nanopascals, but we've reached the micropascal level, and we've just learned how to grow food. So now we finally reached infinite food. That took ages. We need 1 aluminium, 1 iron, and a water bottle. It's very cheap. So 1 aluminium, 1 iron, and a water bottle. That's nice. That's a water bottle. And now we can produce our first food. And we'll do that along this wall for now. Again, like anything that you place, you can deconstruct and replace and regrow elsewhere later. I haven't found there to be any difference between the foods. They're just foods. You place them in, they start to grow, and when they're fully grown, you harvest them here. At the moment, everything appears to have 100% chance to get your seed back. So it takes a while to grow, but once it is grown, you take it out, you get another seed, and you replant the seed. Done. They are not as efficient as the food packs. The food packs give you more food, but you can have a couple of them. So I'm going to have at least 2 of them straight off the bat. You can have more than 2 of them. I think I eventually went with 3 of them, was seemed to be the magic number. Yeah, maybe I'll go 3 of them, since I think, like I said, 3 of them appeared to be the magic number. Was that a water bottle? It was. I never ran out of food at 3. And you can overlap them a little bit, so let's overlap them so I don't run out of space. Grab another food seed pack. I've got a few of those lying around the place. Eggplants. What am I short now? I need another aluminium, another iron, and another water bottle. Aluminium, iron, and another water bottle. I don't think I've got any more ice or water bottles in here. We'll grab the seed. Let's just grab the squash for difference, because you haven't seen the squash, so might as well add the squash. Find some ice. So apparently I should be picking up these things, because apparently they're going to despawn eventually, but meh. I don't need them right now. Sometimes I do run around and just pick up resources and then fill up my storage, but my storage is relatively full at the moment. I will, when I get to, why is that working? It's because I haven't converted it to water yet. When I actually get to the point of having increased storage size, like bigger storage containers, this one also doesn't snap to the grid, but I know can't be placed outside. Interesting. Oh, when we ran out of power, so I'm going to need 1 more aluminium, an iron, and 2 cobalt. Cobalt. There's got to be a lot of cobalt around here somewhere. There's a lot of cobalt in this little field. Let's go this way. Cobalt. Cobalt. And now I can place one back down the hill, down here, where I initially intended to plant it, but I couldn't because of the debris from the asteroid. Asteroid? It's an asteroid when it hits down, and a meteor before? No, it's an asteroid if it doesn't enter the atmosphere, and a meteor if it does. Right. So now we're growing food. We're producing stuff to get the planet going. It's getting better. We can keep getting better than that. We should keep getting better than that. Beacon's kind of useful. It's nice to always know where home is. So let's grab an aluminium and build another beacon. It's a little bit expensive, I know, but we do have a bit of aluminium lying around the place at the moment. Titanium and a silicon. I don't think I've got any of those in my chest, so we're going to go looking for a titanium. I think of that as a titanium. Is there a silicon lying around here somewhere? Is that one? No, that's iron. Ah, that's silicon. Sometimes the shape change of the thing while you're deconstructing it will actually stop you from will move your mouse cursor off it. There's a silicon right there. Alright, that's enough to construct the beacon. Doesn't matter where you put the beacon, you place the beacon, you can change the beacon's color. I like purple, because that's my favorite color. What about QDS channel color? It's about that. So there's this little blue hexagon. You can still see the blue hexagon. So as far as I know, there's no limit to that range. So yeah, you can always see the little blue hexagon, which means you can always find your way home if you're not sure where it is. Once you've got your beacon, you can always find it. You can place other beacons with different colors to be like, I need to go to that thing and I can't remember where that is. Just place a beacon there next time you go there. And yeah, you will always then be able to find your way home. Oops, wrong button. Let's eat. Oh, that wasn't full food. Let's eat again. Right, let's grab iridium and make more heat. Silicon, titanium, iron, and aluminium. I have iron, I have aluminium. Silicon and titanium I do not. There was silicon and titanium right here. Alright, we need more space. I want to put a fourth one of them in there. Don't really want anything here. It is kind of a waste of space. I could totally just have a narrow corridor with 4 of these in it, right? Let's do that. Yeah. It's not great. It still works. Maybe I'll leave that space open. Alright, now we're producing heat a little bit faster. 13.7 picokelvins per second. I want to produce oxygen a bit faster, so I want to make another one of these, which doesn't take aluminium, which is nice. 2 ice, an iron, and a silicon. I definitely have more iron in my chests. What was it? 2 ices and a silicon. Silicon, 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 silly silicon. There's a silicon. There's 2 silicon. Let's grab it while we're here. We're always looking for silicon. Oh, there's 4 here. Let's grab all this silicon. There's 5 here. 6. So much silicon. 7. 8. 9. Yeah, that'll do. I need a bit of ice. Don't know how much power we've got to spare, but that doesn't matter. If we run out of power, we'll discover it as soon as we make this thing, and then we'll just build another one. More power, that is, stuff thing. Right, what do we have in the way of seeds? Looks like we've only got lermas left. That's kind of sad. I need to go find some more seeds. Might actually be time to go and visit that other spaceship again. Right. Producing more oxygen now. 8.4 parts per quillion. That is starting to tick over at a reasonable rate now. That is getting better. Still not great, but it's getting better. Let's build another drill too. 1 iron and multiple titanium. Grab the iron from here. There was titaniums, right? No, they're irons. Ah, that's titanium. No, that's iron. That's more silicon. Iron. That's titanium. 3 nodes of it. Let's grab them all while we're here. 4 nodes of it. Let's grab them all while we're here. 5 nodes of it. Oh. Not ideal. Right, this will almost certainly knock us into low power state. Got enough for another one? No. Yes. Be bold. Let's go crazy. Definitely need an aluminium for one of those. I think one will probably suffice. Let's find out. What was the rest of it? Cobalt. I need another silicon, magnesium, and iron. Now, I do have most of those things in here. Magnesium, no. Where'd all that silicon go? Silicon. Cobalt. Magnesium. Iron. Add another solar panel to my solar array. Power restored. Let's see what kind of rates we've got now. It's looking better. It's looking better. It's going faster. It's going faster. Let's go more heat. Maybe we will put one there. It doesn't matter if I have to go around to get there. That's cool. So, deuterium. What's the rest of it? Silicon, iron, and aluminium. So I grab another aluminium. Starting to run out of aluminium. Got lots of silicon, and I should have iron. So line it up correctly, like that. Plop it right where the other one is. Didn't run out of power, that's good. But now the heat's going up nice and fast. That's starting to really tick over. Let's see, what are we about to do? Heat. Now, we're pretty far from that drill. Oh no, we're getting close to the drill tier 3. I've made one of those. Those definitely require aluminium, but I think that's all they require. So yeah, I had a few of those. Living compartment glass, not very useful. Communication antenna. It adds lore to the game, but that's it. And in fact, there we are. We've unlocked all 3 of those at once. I'm not going to bother with that. That just adds lore to the game. I've read all of them, and I've never got anything good out of it. That just adds lore. VeggieTube 3, I can't work out where to place that. I built one of those, and I couldn't place it anyway. I had all the resources for it, and I couldn't put it down, so I don't know what that is for. I don't think I've made a heater tier 3, because I think I might have made one. Definitely storage lockers, they're really useful once you get to them. We're getting close, like this is ticking up fast now. Won't be long before we reach 50. This biodome massively increases the amount of oxygen on its own. It's just a big room with plants in it that automatically produces oxygen, and it massively increases your oxygen production rate. But also starts you on the next statistic. It adds a new section to this graph called biomass, and then you have to start producing plants outdoors. So you have to start producing, well, the first thing you produce is grass, and I believe later on you do trees and stuff. And like I said, later on apparently you grow water, like surface water, so there'll be lakes and things. And then you have to grow algae in the water to increase your biomass. And yeah, the game just keeps like progressing. Little bit by little bit it goes further and further, and you progress towards an actual nice planet. But yeah, so the next good thing we're going to unlock is really the locker, because that will replace all of these with more compact storage that fits more in it per storage. How far are we with these? 70%. Some of the stuff is hard to see because it's white text over a white thing. What I would recommend is, even if it is white text, you've got to give it an offset shadow that makes it show up against white stuff. From what graphical things that I've ever done, yeah, if you want to have an overlay text over things that can be all sorts of colors. No matter what color you then choose, you're eventually going to, especially in a 3D thing where there's shading, you're eventually going to run into the problem where some of your lettering is going to disappear into the color of a thing that it's overlaid over. So the easy way to go about that is it doesn't matter what color you choose, even if it's white or black or whatever, it won't disappear if there is a shadow to the writing. Unless you get super unlucky and it's like, no, it just won't happen. Because if it's, black writing and you're over a black thing, you give it a white shadow. Or if it's white writing over a white thing, you give it a black shadow. And you don't have to choose that. You just, if you went with white writing, go with a black shadow. If you went with black writing, go with a white shadow. If you went with blue writing, go with a black shadow, go with a green shadow, go with a red shadow. It's super unlikely that within that tiny little area that is your actual writing, that is the actual letter that you need to be able to differentiate between the thing behind it, will there be the exact right shape of an A that is red and green. And if it is, you'll look at that and go, it's probably an A, because otherwise, why is it so perfect? Anywho, right, we just unlocked something. Drill tier 3, what do those cost to make? Yeah, 2 aluminium. Very expensive, but they do absolutely massively increase the amount of, and I think titanium? Yeah, massively increase the amount of pascals of pressure you produce per second. So I'm going to build one of them. I need to look around for titanium first, though. I do not have enough titanium. It will almost certainly put me in a deficit of power, and I don't have enough aluminium to make any more. I think that's titanium, yeah. To make any more of the large solar arrays, so I'll make some of the smaller ones, which didn't need it. They just basically needed cobalt and silicon, if I remember correctly. So I'll grab some of that on the way home. And yeah, I will just add some extra small arrays to account for the fact that this massive drill, dun dun dun, it's a big drill. It's hard to place, there's not a lot of spaces for it. Where is the drill head? Let's point the drill head this way. Just because. Boom, low power. Oh, it's going right into my base. That's fine, I don't really care. So long as it works. Iron and silicon. Right, there should be iron and silicon in here. Iron. Where did I put all the silicon there? One might not be enough. Let's find out. It was. But yeah, so that also produces heat. Interesting. Produces 17, I would say probably micropascals per second. Nanopascals per second, probably. So yeah, it produces. Didn't I pick up some ice? I thought I did. No. Need a water bottle. I need to find some ice. Yeah, that drill makes a big difference. Once you've got like 2 of them, you start really cranking on the atmosphere. And it produces a little bit of heat, which I wasn't actually aware of, but that's nice. It's a nice addition. Comes in handy. Yeah, look at how fast that thing's ticking over now. Now we've got our locker storage. Excellent. We're going to start building lockers, maybe. What do lockers cost to make? Nothing, just a lot of iron. So yeah, we'll take all of that out of there. And there. And there. And we'll deconstruct all 3 of these. We'll, whoops, replace the whole thing with some lockers. Everything that is an iron. So everything that fit into 3 chests before, well, okay, those chests weren't exactly full, but yeah, 1 locker. So lockers are great, efficient storage, so use them rather than anything else. Totally worth it. Don't need that many of them. And yeah, you can fit all your things. That's everything that was in all those chests before, and it fit in one locker. Worth it. We have enough iridium to make some more heaters. I'm going to make one more heater. Where the hell am I going to put that heater if I make it? Let's make another bit of base. Let's expand our base. We haven't made any more base in some time. We'll make more base. Add an extra room there and another one on the back here. So what are those made out of again? 2 irons and a titanium, so I need to find a titanium, and I do need more iron. We'll just pick it up. Since iron's so plentiful, we'll just grab it as we're walking around. Why not? Gotta find that titanium though. Here's some titanium. That should be enough. Now, we've crossed the 2-hour mark, which is a little bit annoying that we haven't reached blue sky yet, but we're getting there. Look, it's starting to blue up. It's not as red as it was before. Oh, I can't walk through the laser beam. That's annoying. Maybe I shouldn't have placed it there. It's in the way. Alright, we can put more heaters back here, and we can, I don't know, put stuff there too. I don't know what we'll put there, but we'll put stuff there. More heaters. So I need a silicon, titanium. I'm out of titanium. Oh, I'm out of aluminium. I can't do it. I'd have to go wandering looking for aluminium, and there's actually nothing stopping me from doing that. So let's do that. That's not the way to go for aluminium. Let's go down this canyon anyway, and we'll see what there is there. I think there's a storage that I didn't empty out. I don't remember what's here. This is actually now just pure exploration because I don't remember what's over here. Turn our flashlight on just in case. It might be useful. All I know is that you can walk through here. It's very dark, apparently. There's the sun coming up. That's great. No, there doesn't appear to be another storage crate. I probably used up. It's a different kind of biome. I don't know whether there's anything good in this biome. It's these little pillars. I do now remember these pillars of rock, but I don't remember whether there was anything good over here. It just seemed to be more of the same, with weird pillars and that small set of ship bits back there. So we'll head to those ship bits because that's worth it. There's something in here. Oh yes, I can deconstruct these for free. Aluminium. There's more than one. I have to find the other one. We'll take all of that and deconstruct it. There's another one lying around here somewhere. There it is. So you'll get aluminium off this one as well. Pretty close to full inventory. Let's see what else there is. Oh, there's even more here. Another one looks like. Alright, I definitely want the chip. The chip is not there. That's interesting. There's the chip. We'll take... there's that other seed. See, 150%, like I said. I'm going to take that. I'm going to drop the iron here and grab the aluminium. I'm going to drop another iron and grab the chip. I'm going to drop magnesium and grab the plant. I'm going to take my oxygen and grab the food. Going to see what's in this one. Ooh, another one of those. I'm going to drop that and grab that instead. That'll do. We'll head home. That's given us a little bit of aluminium, which will allow us to build another... Can't remember what it was we were trying to build. But yeah, see, you can still see the blue hexagon, which without, we'd be kind of lost. I know it's that ish way. and then I need to head down this valley, so it's this way to head down the valley. And yeah, when I come back this way, those storage crates will be full of crap that I don't really need because they're the things I left behind to take the things I really wanted. But every now and again, you know, it's worth visiting those old places to just completely empty them out, because I have had storage crates respawn, and every now and again they respawn with stuff in them. And it's never really great stuff, but you might get like one more iridium and one more aluminium if you're really lucky. And that's for the cost of some cobalt, which is essentially because you got to make the oxygen tanks to get out there. Yeah, it's worth it because it's not expensive, it's cheap. So do it. Yeah, I can afford to make at least one more heater and one more solar array if we run out of power, which is a likely scenario. I need one more iridium. I do not have that space, so let's... I've got an inefficient plant here somewhere, this one. Can you swap them? You can't directly swap them. Damn it. Alright. Let's just dump off some stuff that I don't need. I know what I can do. I've got 2... living compartment corner. So that I think normally... Doesn't that normally unlock... Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, you do have to unlock that as a blueprint. I thought that eventually unlocked as a result of TI. And recycling machine, I don't know what that one's for either. Like, because everything that you make can be deconstructed, I don't know what the recycling machine is for. Oh, probably putting these things into it, but you never really want to put these things into it that I've found. And you never find free ones of them, so what's the point? Oh well, we'll worry about it if it ever comes to that. Maybe it's a part of the game that I haven't reached yet where that becomes important. Right, let's dump off anything else I don't need to be carrying right at this moment. I think I only need 1 aluminium. Let's find out. 2 iridium, 1 aluminium, iron, silicon, and titanium. Iron, silicon, I don't have a titanium. Grab another iridium. No titanium. So I just need to go outside and find 1 titanium somewhere. That's iron. No, that is titanium. Excellent. Build 1 more heater, probably going to take us over our power budget again, but that's okay, we'll deal with that. By building another solar panel, which we definitely have the resources for because we can deconstruct it, 2 of them. Nope, still within power budget, cool. Alright, that's really ticking over now. We're getting close, No, we're not, it's 100,000 TI away. Yeah, it's still getting better. More oxygen. We're not producing oxygen at a very fast rate yet. I don't think that uses aluminium. Nope. Iron, silicon, magnesium, and ice. Silicon, iron, magnesium, and ice. Ice. Starting to have to travel further afield for the ice as well. But also I'm moving faster because I've got that 30% boost now from the level 2 tier boots. So that's also less of a problem. Like you actually, the distance you travel is so much further now for free. I think I'll put them in here like I did with that one. Excellent. Now we're producing oxygen at a slightly faster rate. Let's increase that yet again. Iron, magnesium, silicon, and ice. Iron, silicon... I have neither magnesium nor ice in here, I'm pretty sure. Ice. Some more silicon, I won't bother grabbing that now because it's not really worth it. I need some magnesium though. Cool. Oh, I need more ice than that. Well, there's another ice, so we'll grab that. Let's just grab some ice on the way back. I don't normally bother to store ice because it's so plentiful, but I do find myself walking out to get ice pretty often, so I might as well just grab the ice and have some ice on hand. Doesn't sublime or melt. Couldn't remember the word melt, and I went to the next most important thing, which is sublime. So when something sublimes, that means it goes between, so there's state changes, so going from solid to liquid and liquid to gas. But if you go from solid to gas, that's when you sublime, you skip the intermediate state. Sublimation, which ice can easily do if it's hot enough. Oh, we ran out of power. I didn't realize we ran out of power. All right, gonna need an aluminium to fix that. Gonna need some silicon, some cobalt. Can't remember what else. Some magnesium and some iron. I need another cobalt. Got another cobalt, got another iron. I need a magnesium. For some reason I don't have any damn magnesium. That's rare, but apparently I don't have any magnesium. There's some magnesium. We'll grab the spare while we're here. It's just sitting there. What am I going to do? Walk away without picking it up? About there. So what are we looking at now? Okay, now we're starting to turn over even faster. You just got to keep doing this now, basically. You just got to keep cranking it, keep working it, making more and more stuff that needs energy, and then making the energy to keep that stuff going, and then rinse and repeat ad infinitum. It is the game loop. It doesn't seem like a very interesting game loop, and it's probably not very interesting to watch, I will admit, but it is super interesting to play. Where did I have a very similar sentiment about something recently? Oh yeah, when I'm flying my drone. I just put up a new drone video just recently, and the drone videos have a very similar thing, I have to say. When you're flying the drone, it's super entertaining. It's not super entertaining to watch, but even flying around the same room continuously, like you're not even going into another room. If you just have like 3 obstacles to fly around in that room, it's super entertaining to fly around that room. It's not very entertaining to watch, and you'd think you'd get bored, and you don't. You'd run out of battery before you get bored, always. Flying drones is super entertaining. This game has a similar thing where it looks like it should get boring really fast. It doesn't. It just doesn't get boring. You'd think it would. It doesn't. It's really entertaining. I can't 100% credit why, but it is really entertaining. We are out of cool seeds, so I can only make normal seeds now. But those things are kind of cheap, so I might make one because they don't cost anything except silicon and ice, right? Yeah, magnesium, silicon, and ice, and I had a spare magnesium, so these are cheap. We'll place another one. Didn't cost me that much in power that I ran out of power either, so there we go. Alright, next things to unlock will be pretty far away from that. You get to that basically once you reach blue sky, you get that. That unlocks... I generally get that before I reach blue sky, but I don't know how to use it yet. I don't know where it's supposed to be placed. I will either have to look that up or I will have to do some more experimenting. That massively increases your oxygen output. It's quite expensive to build, but once you've built it, you've built it. It also has a special research chamber, so like this shows you the level of heat I have to get to unlock things. In the biodome, there's a screen that tells you the level of biomass you have to reach to unlock things. Yeah, so it also unlocks the biomass on here. I'm not sure if the two are directly linked or not, but anyway, once you start producing biomass, it shows up on this screen, and the screen that shows you when you will unlock new things according to how much biomass you produced is in the actual biodome. Pauly Shore's in there. No, I'm kidding. Nuclear reactor, yeah. So I unlocked that pretty early and just did not ever find enough uranium to use that, to utilize it in any way, shape, or form. I'm gonna eat some food. That's enough. These should have grown by now. So yeah, so now that's a fully grown eggplant. It's at 100% growth. You always get your seed back. So you do that, you get an eggplant seed, you plant an eggplant seed. You do that, get an eggplant, you get an eggplant seed. You do that, you get a squash seed, place a squash seed. And you can eat them for 25 health. Ooh, squash is more efficient. I never bothered to read before. Now I wish I didn't plant 2 squashes and 2 eggplants and a squash. I could have planted 2 squashes and an eggplant. Would have been better. Anyway, got the ice right there, so we'll use that. I definitely do need to take a break soon though, because my voice is starting to fail me. Let's go back down that valley and grab... There was... Ooh, wait, how many... I need an oxygen tank. I need another one. I want to have 2 just in case. I feel like 1 isn't enough. Yeah, there was another... A solar panel tier 2 that I can deconstruct. There was still a lot of stuff in storage chests down there that I could have taken, even though they weren't very useful rare resources. They were there, you know. I'm not going to leave. I mean, I absolutely could just ignore them, but I'm not going to, because it's rather an easy one. And at the moment, I'm waiting to reach blue sky, and I'm getting things are turning over almost as fast as I could make them turn over. So right now, I'm basically just killing time until we hit that. Hopefully, I'll get there before the 2.5 hour mark. We're at the 2 hour mark already. This is a super long video, but that's sort of this game. I mean, I've been entertained for 2 hours without getting bored. Probably not as fun to watch, and maybe you skipped around. Maybe you stayed here all the way to the end. I try to be entertaining. I'm not super entertaining. I try to be entertaining, and I fail at it. Sort of. No, I'm kind of entertaining. I'm not that bad, right? I've got to be okay. I mean, I'm still talking. If I wasn't talking at all, maybe you can make an argument that no, he's not entertaining. He just sits there looking stupid and playing a video game. When I first started this channel, I didn't have a microphone, so that was unentertaining. I could imagine. That was really bad. But yeah, I talk now. It can't be that bad anymore. Grab all of that. Oh, it's another squash, so I could turn them all into squash next time those eggplants grow. Yeah, see, VeggieTube 3, and I have no idea where to place that, so I've never made one. Let's just have a look around. Is there anything else, or is it just that? There's another one over here. What's in this one? If there's anything really cool in this one, I better grab it. Is that the other side of the same aluminium fields, or is that a different aluminium fields? Interesting. Probably the other side of the same aluminium fields, I guess. No way in. Now, you can later on build a rocket booster. There might be a way in at the top that I can't reach this early in my progression. I'm going to risk it. Is this part of the same aluminium fields? Do I have any more space? I've got a little bit of space. If I die, I know how to get back. We'll grab some aluminium as we move through the aluminium fields. Ooh, look at that. Looks like a space gate. Yeah, see that one changed shape so fast. We'll replace anything good with iron if I find any more storage chests. Cobalt. Aluminium, let's drop this. More aluminium. Drop the iron in the box. We'll grab the aluminium. Yep, there's that spaceship. This is definitely the same place. So I didn't know that. That canyon is sort of a wraparound canyon, and you can go both ways. So that's interesting. I do need to come back and actually empty these storages one of these days as well. I mean, that stuff is useless stuff. But it's always nice to just entirely get rid of the storage box so that if it respawns, you know there's new stuff in there, and maybe that stuff is good. Because if you never completely get rid of it, you never know whether there's good stuff in the storage box or just the crap you left behind the last time you were there. Yep, my voice is failing. I'm definitely going to need like a Werther's Original or something after this. I don't think I've got anything for sore throats. And I can't be bothered going out to buy something. I'm going to just have to have a coffee and try not to talk for a while. I do want to play some Phasmophobia later today. Made some interesting discoveries about my skill level and things pertaining to my skill level. And I'd like to expand on that by playing more and exploring what I discovered. That's like the most spoiler-free way to describe what I want to do. It doesn't even need to be spoiler-free. I just sort of, Right. So we've got plants that are better. We don't have the top-tier plants, but we've got plants that are better. We did come back with a bunch of aluminium. That's fantastic. Another squash seed, which is also great. We'll keep that because I need that. Dump all of this off. So much stuff. Grab me 2 of those so I can keep a second oxygen capsule on hand for when I need it. $120. It's going pretty fast. Don't know how much faster it could be going. Should be able to fit another one of these in here. Let's do it. Iron, silicon, ice, and something. 2 ice and a magnesium. Have we got a magnesium? I've got a magnesium. I've got another ice. No. Okay, maybe because the what's-his-face is despawn, the distance around your base that you have to go to get resources does actually appear to get larger. So I guess I was wrong about that. Like, you don't infinitely refill with resources because the falling rocks aren't... Look, it's getting very blue. Because the falling rocks aren't that common, and they don't stay there. Like, once you've used them, they're gone. Once they despawn over time, as the actual words I was trying to say and couldn't manage to. Yes, would help if I had someone to put in that like that. Because that's relatively efficient at 150%. It's not as good as the 200%, but it's 150%. We're now at 18 parts per quillion producing of oxygen per second. That's nice. Producing 27.65 picokelvins per second to the atmosphere. Producing 23.6 nanopascals per second. So what's really bad? We're still not producing much in the way of oxygen. That's the one that's big. I will produce more of that once I unlock the biodome, which I haven't done. We're really far away from that. So maybe I can crank my heat production. No, 1 iridium. So I can't really... I mean, I can, but I can only do it inefficiently, so I don't really want to. Only got inefficient plants left. So I guess it's the mining. We can increase the mining. So 2 aluminium. 2 iron. 2 titanium. And then we will almost certainly need another solar panel. And yeah, like the nearest titanium now is pretty far away. I've got to walk to find titanium. I say walk, I've got to run at the top of my... Oh, that was iron, I thought it was titanium. I've got to run at my top speed. And I've got to run pretty far. But yeah, as you can see, the sky is blue-ish. Blue. I mean, that's blue. We haven't reached what they call the blue sky sort of cutoff point yet, but it's really blue. Like, we're getting there. Can't say that ain't blue. That's really blue. Okay, it's blocked by that rock. Can I turn it so it's not? Yes. There is a position that I can turn it to where it fits. That'll do. And we still have enough power. Awesome. Alright, so that should improve the speed again. Look at it ticking over now. Won't be much longer. Won't be the 4 minutes that I was hoping, but it won't be much longer. Yeah, I could inefficiently produce some more oxygen. Let's inefficiently produce some more oxygen. That's kind of cheap. I mean, it doesn't cost me a lot to make those. Magnesium, silicon, that should be another. Yes, you can rename your storage. You just have to click on the actual label. I never got around to it because I don't care. Silicon. Magnesium. Ice. I have to actually go pretty far afield for ice. I need to bring 3 ice back. Yeah, like ice is getting really far away now. So I need 1 to drink too. Later on, you'll actually be able to produce water passively from the atmosphere because you'll get the atmosphere to the point where it can produce water. But yeah, I haven't reached that level yet. I haven't unlocked that yet. It'll be a while. 1 of those to drink. Give me 1 of those to place. This'll do. Place an inefficient plant, but hey, it's another plant. We might as well place it in there. Now, like I said, these base seeds, these 100% seeds, eventually you'll be using those to actually make constructions. So, like the biodome, for example, requires 1, I believe. But for now, we'll just make 1 and put it here because why not? It's going pretty fast now. We're going to get there soon. What is going to unlock on the pressure scale next? The nuclear reactor, which, like I said, you know, I've never been able to use. But then the ore extractor. I've never been able to make the ore extractor. Apparently that will just give me free ores somehow. Somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah, so we'll eventually get to that. Probably not in this playthrough. I might make this a playthrough because this game is not... It's not super difficult, and it might be worth it just to show how the game progresses over time because, you know, they're still developing this. From what I've seen from other people, the developers are relatively, like, frequently developing the game. They're not doing it badly. They're doing a good job. Supposedly it's only 2 guys in Miju, I wouldn't know how to pronounce it. MIJU Gaming Software, something. But yeah, they appear to be... They've done a good job. I mean, this is... You know, it's 2016 graphics, maybe 2018 graphics. It's not super great, but those distance shots look really nice. The spaceships are interesting. They're all a little bit different while still looking like they all come from the same race. The way the planet's atmosphere slowly changes over time was cool. If you build the communications device, there is lore and stuff coming through, and some of that was interesting to read and discover more about. All the systems work. As I've demonstrated, there are no bugs. It's relatively easy to learn. It doesn't really need a tutorial. They could add a tutorial in the future. This is very early in its early access development anyway. So, I mean, this is not I have no idea where they're going to go with this. I would imagine there's probably going to be maybe something dangerous that you have to shoot at. I don't know whether that really gels with the game. It might not. There are a lot of games, survival crafting games, where you're on an alien planet and there's alien life forms that you have to kill and harvest resources to build stuff. There are a lot of these games. There are a lot of survival crafting games set on alien worlds. I don't know whether this one really needs alien life forms. I think I might be a little upset if they went that route. I mean, I wouldn't be like, you know, I'm never going to play this again. But I'd be like, did you have to do what everyone else did? Like, couldn't you have come up with something else? maybe the alien life forms are friendly and they lead you to stuff, and that's the only way. Like, you have to befriend one to find a particular resource that's really hard to find. You have to get a pet. So you have to get all the stuff together to tame and train the one particular animal that can always find uranium. I don't know, something. Maybe some other super rare resource that you haven't added into the game yet. I'm just going to gather some of the rarer resources that I'm always looking for while I'm sort of iron here. Oh, I thought that was titanium. It's only iron. Might grab the magnesium as well. Magnesium's not massively common. While we wait to reach blue sky, because we're almost there. Don't have that much silicon left. I've used a lot of my silicon up. Yeah, drifted off into just a pattern of collecting ingredients there for a moment. So I don't know where the game is going. I haven't checked to see if there's a roadmap or anything. There might be. If you're interested in that, I'm sure you can Google it and you can find it. The game is called The Planet Crafters, although the actual title graphic doesn't say the. But I believe under Steam it says The Planet Crafters. And when I was looking for the press kit to make the thumbnail for this video, because I always use the official press kit if I can, when I was looking for the press kit to make this, it came up as The Planet Crafters, not just Planet Crafters. So that, I don't know, whatever that means to you, it's worth knowing that, yeah, it's the, not just. There we go. Right, we are almost at blue sky. We are 10 away. Almost want to just stand outside and watch it happen. Okay, so sandstorm started and that turns the sky yellow, which is a bit of a shame because it was already kind of blue outside and now it's not. Is there going to be meteors or is this just a sandstorm? I think this one's just a sandstorm. I could do with more meteors though, I really could. It's been a while. Still got to go finish collecting all the stuff in that spaceship. We'll get to that eventually too. Yeah, hopefully this dies out soon. We're getting really close to blue sky, and I want to see blue sky. I want to see the blue sky actually turn blue. It doesn't actually turn blue. It's been a slow, gradual progress, and that's just like the marked point where it says, all right, now you've hit blue sky. All right, good, it's dying down. See, like, the sky's blue already. That's a blue sky. But yeah, the actual threshold where it goes, yeah, that's blue sky. You've reached blue sky now. We are almost at that. We are 5,000 TI terraforming somethings away. I'm going to grab oxygen to make sure I don't suffocate. And then we're going to stand outside and look at the sky. Let's look at that ridge because that looks nice. We'll see if there's any... Oh, and that one. We'll see if there's any actual marked difference in the minute or so that it will take to reach there. Counting down now. 173. 173 and a half. 174. 174 and a half. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached blue sky. Yeah. No marked difference in the sky, but that is what they call blue sky. We've reached blue sky now. It's blue sky. It was already pretty damn blue before. But yeah, so that is, and then you unlock the next level of crafting station. I've probably got enough space to put that. We might put that there. Materials, it's a lot of aluminium, but I think we've got that at the moment. We do. 1, 2, 3. Some magnesium and silicon, I think it was. We've unlocked the nuclear reactor that I said I've never been able to build because it requires a radium rod. Another magnesium and 2 titanium. 2 titanium. Do I have another magnesium? I do. There we go. Excellent. Right, we'll place this here in its own little compartment-y room thing, because why not? Takes up practically the whole wall, so might as well put it centered. And we ran out of energy, but anyway. So it lets you craft the next level of oxygen tank, next level of backpack, uranium rods, so 9 uranium, iridium rod out of 9 iridium, super alloys. So super alloys you had to find earlier on, but now you can craft them. They take one of everything, one of every other ore, basically. Rocket engines, because you do build rockets. So to actually seed the planet with certain things, it's easy to just build a rocket and shoot it up into the atmosphere. But look at how expensive it is. 1 iridium rod, 2 uranium ore, and a super alloy. But you do also get to make a jetpack, which, like I said, there was that other sort of container bit that I couldn't get into. Probably need a rocket engine to get in there, a jetpack to get in there. But that costs 2 rocket engines and a titanium. It's really expensive. So we'll be concentrating on these next time we play mostly. What I will do is sort out my food. Squash, eggplant, 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 squash, squash. I need to eat something. Let's eat an eggplant and an eggplant, and we'll save the squash for later. We'll plant all squashes now, since I now know that they are actually worth more food. Didn't know that before. And I need a water, so let's grab a ice. Make ourselves a water. And then I will very quickly get an aluminium, some silicon. Do I have any cobalt? Some cobalt. And a titanium? Magnesium. I think it's magnesium. Yes, it was a magnesium and an iron. I haven't got an iron yet. Have I run out of iron? I've run out of iron. I've got 1 left. Iron is so plentiful. But yeah, I've actually run out of iron, which is amazing. But yeah, we'll place this because we're currently out of power and I don't want to finish the game without it actually running. So now it's running. So look, our next big unlock on the terraformation is the launch platform at 345. That seems really far away, but we are ticking over pretty quickly. So now it's, you know, it's not so bad. But yeah, the next big thing will be the heater Mark III at 80. We're just over halfway there. Two thirds, 4/5, 3/5. The biodome's a really important one. We'll get there soon with the heat. It'll take a little bit, but we'll get there. And this ore extractor, which we'll eventually get to, and I've never used, so that'll be new. But that will definitely be in another video coming soon to cinemas near you. No, coming soon to this channel. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been The Planet Crafters. I found it last night. It just came across the front of my Steam store page, and I was like, oh, another one. I play a lot of survival crafting games. I really enjoy them, so you will find a lot of survival crafting stuff on this channel. Some of them I only give one look and go, hey, this is pretty cool, and then I play off stream. So for example, the Core Keepers. Core Keeper. It doesn't have a the. That's also really good, but I haven't played it much on stream. I did one episode of it to sort of give you an idea. It's gone through some patches recently that have sort of rebalanced the game and actually addressed the balance issues that I was complaining about in my very first video. I didn't have a lot to complain about in that one. It's also a small indie developer. I don't know how big their team is, but it's small. The game is also bug-free and is also very good. But enough about that. This is the Planet Crafter. The Planet Crafter. Yeah, it's good. I mean, graphically, like I said, it's not super good, but it's good. I don't know whether they're doing this in Unity. I didn't see a Unity ad at the beginning. I believe that if you build it in Unity, you have to tell people that you built it in Unity unless you pay a certain licensing fee, at which point you can take the Unity logo off the beginning of the intro of your game. And most small-time developers can't afford to do that this early in their cycle, I would imagine, unless these guys, had some backing or something. So maybe they're not building it in Unity. I don't know what they're building it in. But Unity, I believe the latest Unity engine has like ray tracing and stuff built in. Or is that Unreal? No, that's the latest Unreal engine. And I don't think Unreal forces you to put their engine thing in that, but I didn't see it on the Epic Game Store. It might be on the Epic Game Store. Anyway, that's all speculation. It could use better lighting. If this thing had ray tracing, I would lose my mind. It'd be so pretty. It'd be really nice. Because graphically, like, none of these things are bad. They're not amazing, but they're not bad. They're good enough that if you just chuck some ray tracing on them, the amount of cool glows and things out of all of these things, if they were ray traced, oh boy. Of course, with the amount of sources of light, there are way too many sources of light. My 2080 Super would probably overheat and explode. And I cannot afford a 30 card, and the 40 cards aren't out yet, and I won't be able to get one of those because of scalpers, you dirty people. Anyway, other than that, like, graphically, I think it's quite pretty. I like the way the planet slowly changes over time, and it does. There will be clouds up there soon. Yeah, everything looks good. There's enough motion to the things that need motion that they're good. There isn't a sun path, so the solar panels don't follow anything. I think the skybox is static. Like, I don't think that planet's ever moved from that hill crest, nor has that one moved from that one. The map is static. I think at the point in the game is the static map is fine. Producing the level of complexity that this thing would need, like enough crashed spaceships near to your spawn point, with enough space to build near to your spawn point, with the slightly rarer resource aluminium and a place where you can find that close enough to your spawn point, but just far enough away that you need to go up a few tiers and get some better oxygen tanks to get there. That's going to be really complex and it's going to take some doing. So for the time being, a static map is fine. Hopefully they do have a procedural map on their milestones. What is that called? The planned things they wish to do, because I would like to see a procedural map eventually, but I could understand if that takes more than a year to get to us, because the game obviously has a lot of development to do, a lot of balancing to do. Some of it's a little too easy. Like I said, you unlock a lot of things that you just can't use or won't use early. The base building stuff, like these living compartment windows, they're cheap. The ceiling, same thing. You could absolutely build those. I don't. I just don't see the need for them, so I don't build them. But you could absolutely do it if you wanted to and make your base look nicer. You can make interesting base designs and, have a cool, super futuristic looking designed thing, as if somebody actually thought it out, rather than just placing lumps next to each other so that he's got enough space for all his heaters and plants. Just had to dash in to get enough oxygen. I could have used this. This thing never goes away. I wouldn't mind seeing a way to get rid of this at some point. Just because it's kind of an eyesore, and once you don't need it, you don't need it. What else is there? What else is there? What else is there? The bed, I've never made a bed. The bed might change your spawn point, because I think you always respawn in that. I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked into it. I'm not going to even bother to make one now to check. Was there anything else I wanted to say about the game other than, once again, reiterate, I think it's good. I think it's got a lot of potential. It's cheap currently because it's in early access. It's about $30 Australian, which is 15 American or thereabouts, so it's not expensive or anything either. Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise to find very late at night. Admittedly, it was very late at night. I was supposed to be going to bed, and I was like, I'll just have a quick look at the Steam store and see what's on sale. I was actually thinking of buying another copy of Death Stranding. I've got it for PS4, and I lent it to my brother-in-law. And I've felt like playing it recently, and I'm like, do I just buy the PC version? And I came across this instead, which was less than half the price and new. And I thought, I could probably get some content out of that. Whereas Death Stranding, I don't reckon I'd stream Death Stranding. I do think it's a great game, but it's also my first Hideo Kojima game. I have never played Metal Gear Solid, for those who are interested, just like I've never played a Dark Souls game. I've played Elden Ring. I put 2 or 3 hours into that and then uninstalled it because it's not really my kind of game. Sorry guys, I'm just not a Dark Souls guy. I'm a Tenchu guy. I like old school Armored Core when it was all slow and clunky, because that felt it's really dark at night now that the sky's blue. Oh wow, those look way better than they did before. I'm just not a Dark Souls guy, and I'm not I'm a Tenchu guy, and an old school Armored Core guy. I don't even like the new Armored Cores. I buy a lot of games just to support the developers because I hope they make the one that I want them to make. So I really want From Software to make an actual Tenchu rather than a Sekiro. Although knowing my luck, we'll get a Sekiro 2 before we get a true Tenchu sequel. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, after that long-winded wind-up, which went for another 15-ish minutes after I intended to wrap up, like another 10 minutes probably, really, but, 15-ish minutes, that is going to do it. This has been the Planet Crafter. I had to think about it. I almost said the Planet Keeper. The Planet Crafter. It's good. I enjoyed it. If you like, survival crafting games, and especially if you are one of those people, like, look, we know there's plenty of casual gamers out there. You don't have great reflexes. You're not a first-person shooter. You're not running around in Overwatch poning people. It's been a while since anyone said poning. Owning people. That's not your thing. You don't want to have to deal with combat. You can't play Ark because it's too hard because there's way too much combat and you have to learn how to fight with dinosaurs, and you can't play... I'm trying to think of other survival crafting. Conan, where there's, almost Dark Souls-ish combat system and all of those sorts of things. I'm going to die of dehydration. If that's not your cup of tea, this game has none of that. There is no combat to be seen thus far. I don't know if they intend to actually add that in the future, so if you do buy it and it turns out they did that later, don't hate me for it because I wasn't to know. I haven't checked to see what they plan to do. But yeah, if you like that sort of thing, the Planet Crafter. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're over on YouTube and you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Definitely hit that subscribe button because it makes it nice and easy to find all my stuff in one place. And hit that notification bell because it's super random when I go live and when I upload videos. Sometimes I do it every day. Sometimes I do it multiple times a day. And sometimes it can go a month and a half before I upload something. If you're over on Twitch, hitting the follow button is the one that helps me out the most over there. And you can change your notification settings under your personal settings. Like you click on your profile on the top right, there's a settings option, and under that you can go to channels, and then you can change your notification. It's a more complex system to upgrade your notification settings in Twitch, but it's doable. If you can't work it out, Google it. There'll be a help file. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Once again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.